हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा। Welcome to the Gita study session. Today is Friday, 22nd May 2020. We will start with our prayers. Today we will choose two persons to again repeat after me. Bhavana Mataji and Pratik Prabhu. Okay. So only two persons will repeat and then we will go from there. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताका स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमः आचार्य पादाय निताय कृपा प्रदायिने गौरकथा धामदाय नगर ग्राम तारिणे। नमः ओम विष्णु पादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So yesterday we started reading shloka by shloka. So today we are taking two shlokas, shloka number 2 and shloka number 3 of the first chapter. Okay. So we'll first chant like every day. Yeah. So again, the same two devotees, they will be following what I am saying. And then we will allow two Matajis and two Prabhus to chant also on their own. Sanjaya Uvacha.
संजय उवाच।
संजय उवाच।
संजय उवाच।
दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकम्।
दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकम्।
I'm hearing more than one Mataji. So I just said Bhavana Mataji and Pratik Prabhu, right? So everybody will get a chance, don't worry. Vyudham Duryodhanastata.
व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा।
Acharyam Upasangamyam.
आचार्यमुपसंगम्य
Raja Vachanam Abravit.
राजा वचनं ब्रवीत्।
Sanjaya Uvacha.
संजय उवाच।
दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा।
दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा।
आचार्यमुपसंगम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत्।
आचार्यमुपसंगम्य राजा वचनं ब्रवीत्।
संजय उवाच।
संजय उवाच।
दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा। आचार्यमुपसंगम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत्।
दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा। आचार्यमुपसंगम्य राजा वचनम् अब्रवीत्।
Okay. So now, Beena Mataji, you can read the shloka.
संजय उवाच दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकं युद्धं दुर्योधनासस्तदा आचार्यम् उपसनं गम्य राजा वचनम् अब्रवीत्।
Kavita Mataji.
संजय उवाच
दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा आचार्यमुपसंगम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत्.
Okay. Suraj Prabhu.
Sanjay Uvacha Drishta tu Pandavanikam Vidam Jayavadam Tada Acharya Upasana Gamyam Raja Vasna Prabhu.
Thank you. So now we'll read the word by word translation and then we'll go for the next sloka also. So now all of you, if you want, you can repeat after me. Sanjaya Uvacha Sanjaya said Drishtva after seeing to but Pandava Anikam. No, you repeat after me. The soldiers of the Pandavas. Vyudham arranged in a military phalanx. Duryodhanaha King Duryodhana. At that time. Acharyam the teacher. Upasangamya approaching. Raja. I think Mataji is trying to be before me, so she can read and we will follow her. Raja the king. Vachanam. Words. Abravit. Spoke. Now we'll take the next one and then we'll come back and read the translation of both together. Okay. So we just chant, and this time we'll not only one person will, because two slokas means only one person chants, because the whole time will go otherwise only in this. So now two other Matajis, Manika Mataji and one Prabhu, Kartikeya Prabhu, they will repeat after me. Pashyetam Pandu Putranam Acharya Mahatim Chamum Vyudam Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata. So, Manika Mataji, you can read the whole shloka.
Pashyatam Pandu Putranam Acharya Mahatim Chamam Vyudham Drupata Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata.
Okay. We'll go word by word translation. Pashya.
Pashya, behold. Etam, this. Pandu Putranam, of the sons of Pandu. Acharya, O teacher. Mahatim, great. Chamum, military force. Vyudam, arranged. Drupada Putrena, by the son of Drupad. Tava, your. Shishyena, disciple. Dhimata, very intelligent.
Okay, so we'll read the translation of both one by one, and then we'll start discussing. Sanjaya said, "O king, after looking over the army arranged in military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhan went to his teacher and spoke the following words. O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada." So please repeat after me. Sanjaya said,
Sanjaya said, O
together,
king,
no, see Mataji, I'm saying repeat and everybody is jumping the gun. So better you read then. I'm trying to make everybody involved, so please bear with that, O
Okay,
king,
Prabhuji.
O king,
O king,
after looking over the army
after looking over the army
arranged in military formation
Arranged in military formation
by the sons of Pandu,
by the sons of Pandu,
King Duryodhana went to his teacher
King Duryodhana went to his teacher
and spoke the following words.
and spoke the following words.
O my teacher,
O my teacher,
behold the great army of the sons of Pandu,
behold the great army of the sons of Pandu,
so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple,
disciple,
the son of Drupada.
the son of Drupad.
Thank you so much. Now please mute your mics so I can start further. So just now we read the translation, the shloka and the translation, shloka number 2 and 3. Together we have, like this, sometimes we'll be having 4, 5 also, because if they are interlinked. So now we see that Duryodhan, Sanjay is describing the whole thing. Yesterday we saw he talked about when Dhritarashtra asked the question, what are my sons and Pandu sons are doing? And then Sanjay now starts describing what he's seeing there. He said, as I explained earlier, it is a ball by ball commentary, like whatever is happening there, it's being relayed to Dhritarashtra by Sanjay. So he says that Duryodhan got down from his chariot and then went to his guru. Guru in the sense, not a spiritual guru, but a guru for learning the archery and so on, all the warfare tactics, Dronacharya. And then, he is just, Duryodhana is a great diplomat, politician, very cunning. So everything he speaks has so many meanings, in that. Nobody can take it for granted that he is speaking like the right way. So here he is immediately attacking Dronacharya. Why? Because of the history. Dronacharya is on one side and Duryodhana is informing him about the army of Pandavas, Pandava Nikam. See the army of Pandavas. And in that he's saying that that arrangement of the army is done by son of Drupada, Drishtadyumna. He was the one who arranged who will stand where and all that. And all that he had learned from Dronacharya. So Dronacharya is on this side and his disciple is on the other side. So Duryodhana is saying that, see, your disciple is on the other side. And there is a little history behind this disciple. It's not some ordinary disciple. He's son of Drupada. So Dronacharya and Drupada were great enemies. And how it happened, why they became enemy, what is the history behind that. So I'll just narrate that to you in short so that you will know why Duryodhana is talking like that. In their early childhood, Dronacharya and Drupada, they were very close friends. And they were studying in the same Gurukul. The only difference was that Drupada was from the kingly, I mean, not exactly king, but from a very influential family. And Dronacharya was just a son of a school teacher. So, although they were friends, but they had this difference. But at that time, when you're in the school, you see so many times it happens that children of both rich and poor people are together. And the children are not affected, because they are so pure. So they were together and they were having a very good time together. But then later on, as they grew, this Drupada went to an actually bigger, nicer school. And Dronacharya could not because, he had no fees to pay. But still, they had learnt it together. And actually, Dronacharya used to teach Drupada so many things because he was a Brahmana and he had a lot of knowledge. So just when the time came to go separate ways, because he used to go to some different place and this Dronacharya could not go there. So on the last day when they were meeting each other, they knew that they are going to be separated. So there are a lot of feeling of separation. And in that feeling, Drupada told Dronacharya that if at all you need something anytime, please let me know. He asked him, do you need anything now? He said, no, I don't need anything. He was very humble. What a student will require. So this way they separated. And it so happened that the Drupada ultimately became the king. And then Dronacharya wanted some help at one time, because he was thinking of starting a small school or something like that for teaching everybody. School teacher after all. So he went to Drupada. And by the time, because he was no job, nothing, so he was very poor. So in a very ordinary clothes, he went there to meet. And he thought that the king knows me. Like, when Sudama went to meet Krishna, then how Krishna received him. So this was read by Drupada also. So when the Dronacharya goes there, that time he was not Acharya, so his name is Drona. So the security guard stopped him. He says, who are you? How can you come here? Why you came here? So he said, I come to meet the king. So they stopped him. Then he said, I am the friend of the king. Can you please go and tell him that Drona had come? And he was expecting the Drupada to come running, to meet his childhood friend. So Drupada said, okay, let him in. And when he went in, Drupada did not receive him well. He just looked at me. He said, what is it? First of all, he refused to recognize him, Who are you? And they said, come on, I'm Drona, your friend. So he said, oh, okay, yeah, now I remember. So what do you want? So he said, I just came for some help. So he very badly treated him. He just asked for some blanket and almost threw at him and said, okay, take this. Oh, sorry, he said, give him some blankets, and he said, you can take the blankets and go distribute, make pieces of that and distribute to your students, whatever, he just really insulted him very badly. So Dronacharya, of course, refused to take those blankets, and he left that place, and he took a pledge to himself that one day I will teach a lesson to the Drupada. So this is how they became enemies. And then it so happened that Drupada knew about Dronacharya's capability, So when he had a son, Drushtadumna, he sent that son to Drona's school. And Drona could have refused because the way he was treated. But being a teacher, he says, no, I should not refuse any student. So he taught Drushtadumna all the warfare tactics, strategies. And Drushtadumna happened to be a very bright student. He learned everything very nicely. So this is what now Duryodhan knows all this. So he's saying that, okay, you are on one side, you are on my side, but your disciple, intelligent disciple, son of Drupada, is on the other side. So now we'll see what the acharyas say about this, how they look at it. So as is our practice, we will read and then I will explain. So I will keep on choosing somebody just randomly, I have no special person here, but everybody is equal to me. So we'll start with Shri Devi Mataji.
Dhritarashtra was blind from birth. Unfortunately, he was also bereft of spiritual vision. He knew very well that his sons were equally blind in the matter of religion, and he was sure that they could never reach an understanding with the Pandavas, who were all pious since birth.
This we discussed a little yesterday. Dhritarashtra was blind. But here Srila Prabhupada is adding that he was also blind spiritually. He had no vision. I explained yesterday how Vidura gave him a shock and then he realized his mistakes. But till that time, he was totally blind in his son's love for his sons, So this is what the situation is. Okay. Now, Kartikeya Prabhu can read this.
Duryodhana, a great diplomat, wanted to point out the defects of Dronacharya, the great Brahmana commander-in-chief. Dronacharya had some political quarrel with the king Drupada. As a result of this quarrel, Drupada performed a great sacrifice by which he received the benediction of having a son who would be able to kill Dronacharya. Dronacharya knew this perfectly well, and yet as a liberal Brahmana, he did not hesitate to impart all his military secrets when the son Drupada, Drishtyadumna, was entrusted to him for military education.
I explained this, except that I did not talk about the yagna that he performed. The yagna was performed for what? To get a son who will kill Dronacharya. You can imagine when person is insulted, we can go to any length. Even the poor person, all he has is a reputation. Reputation in the sense, not reputation, but respect. For respect, sometimes you can have a big fight with somebody. And even a very weak person becomes very strong when you are, cornered and insulted. So this is what it is. Drishtyadumna being son of Drupada, but still Dronacharya gave him education. So this is, this is what is dharma. This is what is moral. These are all the lessons we have to learn from these personalities. Although they also had their problems, but when it comes to morality, they overlook their problems. So you don't, like a doctor, I'm sharing this small incident. In Bombay, in the suburbs of Bombay, small place called Mira Road. Those who know Bombay, they will know that. There is a temple, also, and there is a hospital, Bhaktivedanta Hospital. And it is near the highway. So they get a lot of accident victims, because, traffic, what it is there, we know that. So they treat them prasadam. All the family members also get prasadam and things like that. So somebody came and, suggested that he saw some Muslim families coming out of the hospital after treatment. So they immediately were complaining to the management that why you are a Hindu organization and why you are treating these Muslim patients. And so devotees were disturbed also. What is it? Why? What is the problem? He said, we have opened this hospital for human beings. And while treating somebody, we don't even ask. Of course, in India, you have to have some FIR or the police report or something before. But no, this is a temple run by the devotees. So they said, no, we first treat. Like here also in US, I remember I got an accident, very bad accident. I just was saved and my knee broke. And I'm just, a preacher. So I don't have any income or something, no insurance, no nothing. So the moment I said, I have no insurance, I had declared that because, I didn't want to land up in some big problem because the bills will come into thousands and thousands of dollars. So surprisingly, the ambulance people, the police people, whoever, wherever, even the hospital, they said, we don't care. First we treat you, and that came as a big, nice, happy surprise. So here we see, this is how Dronacharya was simply following his duty, prescribed duty, that whoever comes to him, he has to teach. Now, another commentary by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And we will go to somebody who has not spoken yet, Anupama Mataji. Anupama Mataji, you are there? Can you unmute and speak? You want to read?
If unavailable, may I, Prabhuji? Dhriti.
One minute. Let me check.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, please read.
Yeah. Duryodhana criticizes Dronacharya. He tells him that he is very foolish because Drishtadyumna, the son of Drupada, was arranging the troops of the enemy. That person was Drona's student, having been taught by him, even knowing that he was born to kill him. Drishtadyumna is very intelligent because he has gained the knowledge of how to kill you, his enemy. See what will result from this in the future.
See? Not only he was born in the enemy's place, but he knew that he was born to kill him only. Dronacharya knew it. Still Dronacharya was also a very nice person, but unfortunately obliged to Duryodhana because Duryodhana was paying his salary and everything. So he went to that side. So you gain the knowledge from him how to kill him only, Of course, through this war now, not directly going and killing him or something. So this is what the Acharyas see, We miss all these points when we read, right? That is why these commentaries are very, very wonderful, helpful to us. Okay, so now we go to the next one. And now, Avinash Prabhu, would you like to read? Avinash? If you want to read, then you have to unmute and read. many of you are, yes.
Yes, I don't know whether I reached to you.
Yeah,
Or
you are
you
reaching
could
me.
see me. I don't know.
No, you go ahead. I'm hearing you. Please read.
Before me, there is nothing to read here.
Oh, nothing to read. Okay, then it's okay. I will ask somebody else. Poonam Mataji. Can you read Poonam Mataji? Rani Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
In this way, Vaisampayana reiterates the answer of Sanjaya, who could truly understand the blind Dhritarashtra's hidden desire, his heart being locked in affection for his son's welfare, regardless of righteousness. Sanjaya then replies that King Duryodhana, upon seeing the formidable army of Pandava arranged in military phalanxes, approached Duryodhana, his instructor
Drona.
in archery.
Approach Drona.
Approached Drona, his instructor in archery and weaponry.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So this is just a reminder, This is from Keshav Kashmiri. I told you yesterday. He's the spokesperson for Kumara Sampradaya, headed by Nimbarka Swami. So, if you remember, this is the dialogue going on between Vaishampayana and Janamajaya. This whole Bhagavad Gita comes in the discussion of between these sage Vaishampayana. So here, Vaishampayana is talking about Dhritarashtra's hidden desire. He's a hidden desire. Outwardly he says, "Oh, let there be war, there be fair war," and all that. But we saw that already. That how Dhritarashtra has this hidden agenda. All he wants is that his son should be made. I mean, they are already kings. Duryodhana is already a king, but still not confirmed because there is it's like a case in Supreme Court. You are the king, but till the Supreme Court decides, you cannot be declared as king. So that Duryodhana is now preparing Dronacharya that, okay, your disciple is there on the other side. So I don't expect you to become little weak. So he's actually, pointing out at the shortcoming of Dronacharya. Meaning that now Dronacharya has to give his 110%. Because if he does not, then Duryodhana will say, yes, I told you. I knew that you are going to do that. So, it's pressurizing. So that's why I say Duryodhana is a great politician. He knows how to make people work for him, although he knows his weaknesses. He knows he doesn't have a good character. Okay. Now one Mataji was very keen to read. Who was that? Dhriti Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Duryodhana, in order to kindle some anger in the heart of his preceptor Drona, speaks about the excellence of the Pandava army. Cynically using the words, "Behold the mighty army of the Pandavas, well arranged in military phalanx." Here, Duryodhana is conveying to Drona that the Pandavas have come prepared to engage in battle. Duryodhana wants to further incite Drona against the Pandavas by the use of the word "behold," implying that with unmitigated arrogance, the Pandavas are fast approaching without waiting for us to start, who are depending upon Drona himself.
So in a way, another problem was that why he talked to Drona and not to Bhishma. Drona is the guru of both. So again, Duryodhana has this in his mind that Drona will not give his 100%. Because naturally, you have some softness for your disciples. And not only Drishtadyumna, the entire Pandavas, all the five Pandavas, they were all disciples of Dronacharya. They're actually getting trained at the same time. It's not that for Kaurava there was different class and Pandavas, they're always together. And they had always this competition there also. But for the Guru, there is no discrimination. You remember? One qualification of the Guru in the basics, when I was talking about basics, one qualification is that the Guru imparts the knowledge equally among the disciples. No discrimination, no bias. The moment Guru starts having bias, nowadays, of course, it's there, We can see that bias clearly. Everywhere the bias is there. In the dealing with people, in dealing with population, in dealing in the temples also, there's a discrimination. Who gets the darshan first? The special line versus ordinary line, So many things are like that. But actually, as per the scriptures, as per the Shastra, the teacher is not supposed to have this discrimination. And Dronacharya somehow, with all his problems, he really stuck to that principle. So here Duryodhana is just telling, here the word is actually, I should have typed it in bold. Behold, look at this great army of Pandavas. So he's scaring him in a way and cautioning him that, like in here we say, I have my eyes on you. So you be careful. And only Duryodhana could do that, because, he's talking to his teacher. So he's not showing any respect. He's talking to him as if he's talking to some junior, instructing him and things like that. This is where the personality of a person comes out, No respect, no consideration of his position. And whatever respect, little respect he shows is only an outward show. This is how we come across people in our life, right? So many people we come across. They are called as Shubha-Chintak. The moment somebody says, I am your Shubha-Chintak, I am your well-wisher, we should become immediately careful. We should immediately know that, oh, this person now wants to have something. Because there's always an ulterior motive, Always meaning, almost always. I won't say always 100%, but generally. And as the Kali Yuga is progressing, this is more and more and more, to find a genuine person. And that is why we always recommend that the only person who is our real well-wisher inside out is Lord Krishna. He is the only well-wisher. So whatever he does for us is good for us. So here you see now Arjuna, why he chose Krishna, not the army, because he knew that this one person will not ditch me ever. Okay, so this way now we have come to this conclusion of the explanation on this shloka number 2 and 3. Then tomorrow is no class because of Saturday. But then we will take some 4 or 5 shlokas together because it's all descriptive. And I will be telling you about each and every character whose name is there in the translations. Okay. So thank you very much. And now, if you have any question or comment, we'll go there. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. One question.
Yes, Prabhu.
Now we see Dronacharya has given training to Drishtadyumna, even though he knows that he is the son of Drupada, who is his kind of enemy, his friend plus enemy. So,
friend turned enemy.
Yeah, friend turned enemy.
Yes.
Now I have a question about Ekalavya.
Mm-hmm.
So similarly, Dronacharya he did not give training to Eklavya.
Yeah.
So he first, when Eklavya approached Dronacharya, he denied, and then Eklavya learned on his own by some watching him.
Right.
So what is the reason for that, Prabhuji?
The reason is to make Ekalavya so famous. Suppose now, Ekalavya had been given the training by Dronacharya. Would you have even known about him? Would anybody would have known about Ekalavya? He would have one of the students, like, okay, you are a student, you are not even paying the fees, so you be there, I'll train you everything. But just this is Krishna's plan, Krishna's plan is that even if you are determined in your life to do something, to learn something, you can. And that's why now today, everybody talks about Eklavya in a heroic term, right? Nobody says, oh, he was because he was not a Hindu or he was not a Brahmana, or, we don't talk all that, right? We just glorify him. So this is Krishna's way of glorifying devotees.
Okay.
So
Yeah. So another way looking at it, but this made Dronacharya, so people do not talk good about Dronacharya in this concern that he did not give.
Otherwise also,
Eklavya.
see, it's like this. Prabhuji, if Dronacharya was really, really true to himself, he would have rejected Duryodhana's offer that, okay, I will leave. He was not having any kingdom or something, although Drupada had promised him half the kingdom. But he could have lived happily as a retired person, and be happy, right? But he entered for his personal vengeance, right? Because he thought he will get a chance to attack Drishtadimna before he attacks him. See, this is all there. So Dronacharya is a good teacher, that's all. But as a person, in the without remove everything and just see him as a person and his dealings, so he doesn't come out as a great person, like that. So nobody except that Dronacharya taught Pandavas and Kauravas. Where is his glorification? Tell me, who glorifies him? Nowhere. This is how it is. When the history is there always to either make us likable or not likable. Krishna is the only one who doesn't care for this liking. He did so many couple of things, like where people point a finger at him, but he doesn't care because he is more obliged to the devotee. Like in the case of now, when we come to Bhishma, inciting Krishna to lift a weapon on him, right? Of course, he lifted only the chariot wheel, but still. And the Acharyas explained that this was all to Krishna wanted to satisfy the desire of Bhishma. Bhishma wanted to have a fight with Krishna. Just to fulfill that desire, Krishna broke his own promise. And he became, people call him by names. He says, okay, it's all right. For my devotee's sake, I will do something. So there has to be some final motive behind everything you do, There's some intermediate motives and all. So this is how it is. This Mahabharata is full of these kind of anomalies, So we should remain focused in what we want. We should not get carried away by all these distractions. These are all distractions for us.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Anjana, can you please mute? I request everybody to please maintain this one thing, that keep your mics unmuted, unless you want to speak. And when somebody is already speaking, then you better wait, When I ask, okay, any question, then you can always come forward. So Srinivas Balaji Prabhu, does it answer to some extent?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for that.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Anybody else has any question? Because then I have to take one
Hare
question
Krishna.
from yesterday. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
This is Kartikeya.
Kartikeya,
Actually, I asked you a question.
I was coming to that only, but before that, I'm asking, if anybody has any question regarding today's topic, then I will take your question. Okay.
Okay, fine, Guruji. Okay.
Right. So, does anybody have any question?
Prabhuji?
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
You first identify yourself so that I know whom I am talking to.
I'm Sudha Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
हाँ जी, Prabhuji, द्रोणाचार्य when he took that thing ना कि गुरु दक्षिणा चाहिए थी उनको ना from this thing Eklavya.
Yes.
He asked him to give him his thumb.
Yes.
So Drona, this thing Eklavya gave him that thing.
Right.
So why did he take that? Because he wanted Arjuna to be the Sarvasresh, na Prabhuji?
Actually, this is what happens. You know, Dronacharya had no confidence in Arjuna.
Okay.
Although he knew, everybody knows now. Arjuna proved his superiority not because of Eklavya's thumb or something. You know, we saw yesterday that he even fought with Lord Shiva, right? He fought with so many devatas, Indra, this, that, so many. So he was not some ordinary person. He was well trained. But this is how Dronacharya thought. So this is problem of Dronacharya, not of Arjuna.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay.
Understand? That's why I was saying, you know, Dronacharya thought that he is doing something right. But Eklavya proved that you see now so many Eklavyas in the world, you know, that somebody doesn't have hands, somebody doesn't have legs, somebody doesn't have, you know, one arm, both arms, and then they are doing wonderful jobs. Yes, and there are videos about them and people are glorifying. So any unusual thing you do will be always glorified by people.
Okay,
now हमको सोचना है कि हमको क्या करना है, हमको भगवान की सेवा में लगना है कि हमको नाम कमाना है और दुनिया में फेमस होना है. दो चीज होती है. इवन अगर हम भगवान की सेवा में भी लगते हैं तो हम फेमस हो ही जाएंगे, कृष्णा के पास फेमस हो जाएंगे. तो वो सबसे बड़ी चीज है ना. दैट इज द बिगेस्ट रिवार्ड वी कैन गेट. यू नो, लाइक हनुमान जी did so much for Lord Ram, है ना. कहाँ गए. He just went to Lanka, and then finally when he brought Sita back, what did he get from Ram ji? Anybody guess? Any guess? क्या मिला उनको? राम जी ने पूछा उनको कि what do you want? Tell me, I will give you. So what did Hanuman ji ask?
Hanuman ji told him,
Bakshish. What bakshish?
Man, not
Bhakti.
Bhakti.
Okay.
Bhakti.
Yeah, but he says, no, Abhi, now I'm in a very good mood. You ask something now. Bhakti was already there with him. Hanumanji does not require any more bhakti.
Hanumanji says, I should serve you always.
Yeah, that's there. That of course, that is a request. But he asked for something more. On that occasion, he asked something which is very, very significant, very interesting. Does anybody know?
No, Prabhuji, I cannot recall.
Just a guess, Prabhuji. He wanted to serve Lord Krishna?
No. He did not differentiate between the two. You know, that he knew it.
Okay.
He knew it.
Hare Krishna, should I try?
Yeah, why not? Everybody can try.
He said, I want a place near your legs.
Near your leg, okay.
I think.
Yeah, but that is of course I agree with you, that desire is there. But here on this occasion, he said, just give me a hug.
Okay.
Because you know, he had so much romance seeing Lord Ram again, because he was there was separation, he was somewhere in Lanka, and so he said, just give me a hug. And Sri Ram immediately obliged him, and yeah, that's why you see the picture paintings, you know, Hanumanji is getting a hug from Lord Ram. So imagine after all this, just one hug. Like Dhruva got just one darshan of the Lord, that's all. And he forgot all his desires and this and that. So that should have been the goal of all this. And who had that goal? They all became victorious, ultimately. Right? That's why in the Bhagavad Gita, yes.
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting in between as I'm very new to all this thing.
Yes.
And so I just want to.
Your name, please.
Garima
Okay,
Prabhuji.
Garima.
I just want to know one thing. As you are saying, like if we are doing, we should devote ourselves to Krishna or like Hanuman devoted himself to Ram, or like
Right.
that, likewise. So so if we are doing that, and if, like, how can we exactly do that? Like, if we have come here as as I have studied, you have come here with, I'm not talking spiritually because I'm not at all having knowledge about that,
Okay.
but I'm just a layman, so I'm just trying to understand things in a better manner. So as like you say, and we have read and studied till now, that you have come here with a purpose to serve others, and if I'm a teacher, if I have to teach someone, so I have to teach in a
Right.
better way, or XYZ. So
Yes.
basically, if we are here in this world, okay, this materialistic world,
Mm.
and we are surviving, so if we are doing our karmas properly, like for an example, if I'm running something and I'm running it with honesty, with other things, so still we will not be in touch with the spiritual things.
Right.
What is the lacking thing in between? If I know many people, a lot of things are not,
Okay. Okay. I got
very
your.
much
I
people are
got your
not,
question. I got your
yeah,
question.
it's very
And
vague.
yes,
I'm
yes. Please,
sorry, but
please. Okay. Give me a chance now to speak, so I will
yes,
try
sir.
to satisfy your.
Ji Prabhuji.
Thank you. So this from the scriptures and from the gurus and everybody, we have learned that the why we are here, and although we are doing our duties and everything, but still we are suffering, right? We are suffering in many ways. I don't want to make a list of them here. Everybody knows in your own life. We have some enjoyments, we have some sufferings, everything is going on. And so the conclusion is that we are suffering here only because of one simple reason. That we are all, if you're talking of Gita now, for example, and if you have little faith in Gita, then Krishna says that I am the seed-giving father, and every single living entity, every jiva, not only human beings, is a part and parcel of him. Okay. And there is a relationship, like, father-son relationships, that's a father-daughter, father-son, whatever. So what has happened is, because we came to this material world, we got so much engrossed in it that we have forgotten that relationship. And because of that relationship, the forgetting that relationship, we are suffering. So all we are trying to do through all this Bhagavad Gita reading and Bhagavatam and so on is to revive our relationship. Remember, I told the story of the executive who I don't know whether you heard that story, where wife had put the sugar, but he forgot to stir it, and then he started scolding the wife that there is no sugar, right? So this is same way. I explained on that day also that Krishna is there with us. He is our Supreme Father. He is sitting in our heart as Paramatma also. And we don't recognize him. So same way, when we stir it with this little bhakti, little, for Garima ji, for you, I would say that you have to start a very small, little, like a baby step, you say, no? You want to learn something? You always start with baby steps. Just a little. Just a little dhyan of Krishna, little something for him. First of all, you have to love him. If you don't love him, then everything else will become artificial. Okay. So from within, it should come to you. Yes. How come I did not know this? I should know this more. Then that's why the inquiry starts. Our scriptures are the only scriptures in the whole world where the first sentence of, for example, Bhagavatam is, "Let there be inquiry." So we welcome inquiry. We don't suppress it. No, I'm telling you, I'm your guru. So finish. That's all you do. No, we say, okay, what is that you want to know? Like that. Okay. So please, and then if you are really interested, then I will get you some links to get started. Okay.
I would love to watch that. So basically, is like the work which we are doing is like that only.
Yeah.
But we have to connect to the Lord within
Exactly.
ourselves.
We have to connect.
So
what we are doing is karma, and we have to
yeah.
convert the karma into sukruti. So that is the art of art and science both of connecting with the Supreme. Okay.
Ji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Okay, now I will take up the question of, because this is also an important question. Kartikeya Prabhu, yesterday he sent me a mail. And I could have answered him there also, but then I thought that it is good to talk, because there are some devotees like Garima and Kartikeya and few more. I don't know about every one of you, but there must be, naturally you are also new, relatively new. Nobody is new, everybody knows, but relatively new. So his question was, why is that Krishna has to send us here and differentiate between a devotee and non-devotee? If you could have made everybody a devotee, if everybody could have been not given any bad karma and so on and so forth, right? Kartikeya Prabhu, is it right? Your question is the same question, right?
Yes, yes. Another thing is, why did he differentiate good and bad?
That's
And
what I'm saying.
why
Yeah,
does he have to do it when?
I said it. Just okay. Now give me a chance to explain
Yes,
that.
Prabhu. Yes.
So actually, Krishna did not do anything like that. It is we only. Why? We, let me explain like this. Why did Krishna create this material world? What was the need for that? Because he already has a spiritual world. He is having his kingdom. Vaikuntha planets are there. The Shastra says that there are 3 times more Vaikuntha planets than there are material planets in this world. The number of jivas in the material whole entire universes, so many universes. Now scientists also agreeing that there are so many universes. So the entire population of all human beings, animals, birds, and everything put together is only 1/4 of the total population which is there in the creation. 3/4, 3 times more than us are there in the Vaikuntha planets. Okay. So why this material planet? Because when we were also in Vaikuntha planet sometime. Because Jiva, and this is the lesson we are going to learn in the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that who are we, right? So now I'm just giving a thing that we are Jivas. We were in the spiritual world, serving the Lord. But when we saw that everybody is serving the Lord there happily, so a thought came to us that, oh, if I also become God, then people will serve me, right? Because we are part and parcel, Ansha of Krishna, then what happens? Krishna is totally independent. He doesn't have to ask anybody about anything. Why he did anything is because he's Lord, he's God. So we also thought that we should also become like that. Everybody should serve me. Why should I serve? Because there the relationship with Krishna is as a servant, and that is actually our real position. You'll slowly come to know about that. So what happens now? So Krishna, being so kind to us, to all his parts and parcels, he said, okay, you want to have independence? I will give you independence. So like, in an Indian movie, the father, sometimes the son is loving some girl and father doesn't approve of that and so on, right? So the son says, no, I have to marry that girl only. The father says, get lost. Get out of my house. Never show your face again. And you are driven out, right? And the father doesn't do anything for you. He knows that after struggling somewhere, here, there, and ultimately you come. That is his thinking, right? But Krishna is not like that. He is our supreme father. He loves us. So he not only allowed us to go, he said, where this poor fellow will go? So let me create a material world for him. So there he can have a first-hand experience of what is happening in the material. So he has made this world for us. Now, like our father in material world also, this father is suffering because the son is not there. He may be angry, but he will discuss with his wife. Oh, if the son was there, he would have been like this, like that, right? So Krishna is also not enjoying our not being there. So he said, now let me make this world and let them find the reality that how do you live without Krishna? That's how this material world is made for that. So you live your life, no Krishna is there, then you see all these sufferings and this. And unless there is a bad thing, how can you know that's a good thing? How do you see there is for example, there is a blackboard and you make a white circle in the center. When you look at the board, do you see the circle? Immediately, right?
Yes, Guruji. Yes.
So same way, when you see 100 bad people and you see one good person, you immediately recognize, you just identify, oh yeah, this person is good. The whole world is bad, but this person is good. Right? So Krishna made it arrangement like that for everything. Okay, now actually it requires a whole class. I don't know whether time is there. Yeah, I'm getting a signal that I should stop. Nice,
Okay,
nice,
Guruji.
nice puja
You
going
can
on.
continue tomorrow. Yeah, next class.
Yeah, because this is a long explanation, so you have to bear with me. Right now, as I said to Garima Mataji, that we are suffering here because we have forgotten our relationship. That is a key point. Devotees are always multitasking. Something is going on the TV, something is going on the phone, something is going on the computer. Like. Okay. Thank you very much for giving us that nice chanting going on.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So please bear with me because I don't want to make it too long. Otherwise, I'm sure many of you will be run away. Already we.
But it's very interesting, Prabhuji. We would like to listen if you have time or maybe some other day. It's very interesting to understand the thing.
I mean, I have already planned to explain these things slowly, but since this question came and he just joined only day before, right? So I did not want to lose him.
Yes, Guruji.
Yeah, if I said no, I don't know. But I am going to satisfy you, don't worry. Okay.
Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
Tomorrow no class, right? Saturday?
Tomorrow is Saturday, no class, yes.
What about Sunday, Guruji?
Sunday, except Saturday, every day class is there.
At 8 o'clock.
Same time, yes. Same link, everything.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mother.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, no, somebody has question mark. Anybody has any question or comment? Tomorrow.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes. Tell me. Go ahead. Want to say something?
Guruji, I have a question, Guruji.
Yeah.
Guruji, you said that we are suffering because we forgot our relation with Krishna.
Right.
But if we lose any person or anything like that, we'll suffer. We'll suffer many things in this world.
Right. I said
why
main
does
suffering. I said main suffering is that then everything else is under the brackets. In the brackets. That's so many things. But main thing is this.
Okay.
Why we are suffering? Again, we will go back to the same thing. We are suffering because if we were in Vaikuntha, we were in Krishna with Krishna in Krishna Loka, there is no suffering there.
Okay.
So how is the comparison now? The
Yes.
suffering is here because we have forgotten that, and we are suffering here in various ways.
Yes, yes.
There are various kinds of suffering. It's not only one kind of suffering.
Yes.
There are categories of suffering which acharyas have identified and they are telling us. Okay.
Okay, Guruji. Thank you.
Okay, we'll have.
Thank you.
Please have patience and we'll discuss everything every day. Okay. Tomorrow, I'm just letting you know. Tomorrow, I have been also conducting a quiz. Now earlier used to be every day, but now it is every Saturday because there is no class. But the time is 10 o'clock. So if anybody wants to join the quiz, please let me know. The quiz is again on Bhagavad Gita. So if you let me know, then I can include you in that quiz. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So we have to give answers and other things in that quiz,
Yes,
or we
yes,
can
yes.
be passive listeners.
You can up to you. You want to take part, you can take part. Otherwise, and there are some devotees who are taking part almost every day.
No, we are not in. I am not in a position to be a participant on that. So
Okay,
I can be an active listener.
You can learn. There's a lot to learn.
Ji Prabhuji.
Yeah.
I'll just WhatsApp that
Okay.
I will be in.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Bol. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Bol. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.